Idagu David, as the person that introduced me. I am a business and brand consultant and an entrepreneur. Sometimes I introduce myself as a shoemaker, and people like, what? Why don't you say cobbler or a shoe designer? But when I say shoemaker, it hits and it makes you know that I'm hands-on in a way. Before we proceed, I'd like us to do a little exercise. Can you turn to someone by your right and take a look at the shoe the person's wearing? I need you to do something. I need you to pay close attention to the color of the shoe. The color of the shoe, the design of the shoe. Make sure you know if it's a designer shoe. Is it neat? Is the shoe neat? Is it looking like this? Alright, don't worry, it doesn't matter the kind of shoe you wear. But this is it. With that information you have, just put it in your mind. You will be able to predict almost 90% correctly the personality of the person. You just look at the shoe, his or her shoe. Now, while I was growing up as a young melancholy, I've always liked to do things my own way. I like to be me, and one of the ways I showed that, usually when I saw kids around the corner, when you buy that, the watch they buy for kids when you're young, and I know usually kids will wear watch in their left hand. I'll say, no, I will wear mine in my right hand. And I remember going on a hunger strike because my parents compared me with one of the kids in the neighborhood who was well dressed and neat. I used to be a very rough and dirty kid. Yeah, so I went on a hunger strike because of that, because I felt I should be me. And the thing is, it's not only peculiar to me. Everybody in this room likes to define their style, likes to define themselves. Even though the world has made it seem like we need to be like every other person. You know, so some people have lost faith in being themselves and they try to clone other people. So they try to be like Ibadan or someone else, you know, so they like to dress like those people. But inside of us, we yearn. There's a yearning inside of us, like I want to be me, or when can I be me? And you know why? When that is true, is when you see people who are being themselves. When you see people who are like they relay, for instance. I hope this is now. You see that as much as you think he's weird, but you like the fact that he's himself. And everybody in this room have this yearning to be themselves. Now, in 2012, the University of Kansas social psychology decided to carry out a research to see the relationship between the kind of shoe people wear and the personality that they have. It was an extensive research, and they discovered that strangers could predict almost 90% correctly things like the age, the income, the personality, and even the emotional stability just by looking at the shoe. Now, while I was coming here yesterday, I was in the vehicle with one of the speakers, and we were chatting, and we had an introduction, and I said, this is what I do, but I like to look at the shoe. I was like, what's happening? I had to look at the shoe, and I told him, this about you. I said, this is who you are, this is who you are. And like, I said, how true or how wrong I am? He said, you're correct. Now, what are we saying? Basically, there are four temperaments according to social psychologists. You have the sanguines, you have the cholerics, you have the melancholics, then you have the phlegmatics. The sanguines to be the extreme extroverts, then the phlegmatics on the other end to be the extreme introverts. Unfortunately, while I was preparing for this, I actually put in a lot of pictures. I wanted to show you some shoes, but during the night, to this day, I just decided. I said, okay, no, I just want to talk without those pictures. Let me try to create a picture without picture. Now, for people, the person looks at his shoe or her shoe, if the person has a bright colored shoe, and it's an obvious designer brand, either red, pink, thereabout, there's a likelihood that that person is emotionally stable. Okay, now let me explain why. Let me explain why. Let me explain why. Not only is the person emotionally stable, the person is confident. And the person is okay to be weird and being noticed. There are people who don't like being noticed. Now, if that's the kind of shoe the person wore or is wearing, there's a tendency that that person is outgoing. But if, on the other hand, the person is wearing a dull color shoe, dull. I don't want to say the person is not emotionally stable, because I know you're expecting that, but the thing is, the person is likely to be a reserved person. Reserved, I like to walk at the background. I don't want to be noticed. So people like that, they hardly wear anything that when they move, people take note of. Now, if you notice people that wear shoes like the Timberland, the ankle boot, if you see people like that, they've got tons of attitude and confidence. Sometimes they are aggressive and adventuresome. Now we could go on and on and on to try to relate personality with the kind of shoes that you wear, but there's so much that can be revealed about you by just looking at the shoe. So I would like to ask this question: if you were a shoe, what kind of shoe would you? Can you think about it? If you were a shoe, what kind of shoe would you? The whole essence of trying to see the relationship between the shoes and who you are is about defining yourself. Because for us at Idagu Shoes, we decided to research into saying, why don't we help people amplify who they are? So why try to be someone else? Why not be you? And the only way you can be different and make impact is when you choose to be you. Just like the other speaker said, he said, when are you going to start being you, African? And in this instance, being African or being you is about living who you are. It doesn't matter if you're a reserved person or you're an outgoing person. The most important thing is understanding and appreciating who you are, then work towards amplifying that. So in rounding up this, I'd like to say, show me your shoe, and I'll tell you who you are.
Thank you very much, Idagu. You won't end there. Please come back. No, I'm wearing a blue shoe. And it's not dull. I know dull. Alright, if you're here and you feel that the kind of shoe you're wearing is not expressing your temperament, please come forward. Come forward, please. Thank you. Now, this is not competitive. I just want us to better understand the point he's trying to make. Now, let me tell you why. Some of us might come in contact with business deals, people that you haven't met before. Understanding the kind of people they are will go a long way in helping you communicate with that person. So I'm not doing this to entertain anybody. I just want us to better understand how to read people. Okay.
I think is this a setup? You think you move back so they can see the shoes. Okay, this is interesting. Alright, Sai. he's wearing, can I? Okay. Now he's wearing a flat level shoe. There's no heel to it, and it's not a bright colored shoe. Now there's a tendency, people who wear flat shoes, like flat slippers, flat sandals, there are people who most times are carefree. Like, they don't sing. Like usually they are not sing. So usually people who, they have their own, BB posts, like if I talk about business brand, like and everything on my BBM, and one of the days I sent a BC about show me your shoe and I'll tell you who you are. You want to give it a try? So a couple of people, okay, tell me the kind of shoe, tell me my personality, and went back and forth, and they told me, I asked them what kind of shoes do you have in your rack? They told me what are the colors, you're going for this event, what kind of shoes do you wear? And when I say, okay, this is who you are, this is who you like, I'm not saying 100%, okay, so it's going to be like 90% or 85%, but the person was like, is this magic? It's not magic. Okay, now, I like both. Since you guys, your shoes come look the same. Okay, now this is it. I want you to see if it is an ankle shoe. No. Okay. Almost the same. Okay, this is not a very bright color shoe, like pink, red, orange. It's not, and it's not a dull color shoe, like a black, brown. There's some browns that are dull color. So with these kind of shoes, if I were to rate them in terms of temperament, I'll put them at melancholy. Now, melancholy are people who sometimes are extrovert, sometimes are introvert, depending on their mood. So at some point they can be extroverted. So at some point you see them, they are hey, hey, hey. Another point they are. So it's a blend between them, those both colors. So you want to say something? No, don't say anything. What do you think?
Don't say anything. Because you're wanting to say something is confirming his points.
I think we've done, guys. Let me do the lady. Now,
you want to do it?
Okay, she's wearing one is, it's not a bright color shoe. Two, it's a flat heeled shoe. Now, not so flat though, but you see, most ladies that wear high heel shoes and are confident, like when they are walking with me, they are very confident. It reveals something about them. In her own case, she's a shy person. And the thing is, with the kind of clothes she's wearing, which is bright clothes, I'm not going to go. The kind of clothes she's wearing, which is bright clothes, if she was an extroverted person, she would wear a bright color shoe. Now she wore that to tame down the stuff. So she's a bit shy, but she's a lady. And ladies somehow, usually they are bright, like they like to use bright colors. But she's like,